Hey guys. Okay, so really quickly, I just wanted to talk about bettering yourself. I know sometimes stuck in situations or things are happening in your life and you want to improve it, but you don't know how. Um, and I call that being stuck sometimes, or sometimes you just don't know where to start to get the ball rolling. Um, but it all starts with a course of action. So what I recommend is grabbing a piece of paper and a pen. Yep, not a note, not like a computer. Like get a piece of paper and a pen. Like literally pick up a piece of paper and the pen. I know it sounds archaic, and write it down. There is something in writing that's why they don't want you to write. When you write something, you're actually putting your energy and your soul and like everything that you have on the paper. There's a connection that's being made, and there's certain parts of your brain that are being activated when you write in cursive or in plain writing, and when you read it, that emotion that came out on the paper, you can feel it again. There's lots of studies on it, like just look them up, but write down what it is that you want. Write it down and then work backwards and say, this is the end goal. What do I need to do between now and then, right, to make that a reality? And start making the steps from the goal. Like imagine yourself achieving it and imagine yourself seeing yourself doing this, and then say to yourself, like, what do I need to do to make that a reality, to make that happen? And literally imagine yourself achieving it. Imagine what the step was right before it, before it, and keep writing it all the way down to where you are in your current situation. And that way you can see what you need to do to get to that point. And of course, let me tell you something. Whatever you write down, that's not what's going to happen. Because life likes to throw curveballs. Like life is kind of like a baseball game. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if, like you're going to hit a home run, or if, they're going to catch the ball. Like you never know what's going to happen. All you know is that you need to have an amazing attitude. If something bad happens, you got to be like, okay, process it. Like, this really sucks. All right, but what do I need to do now to get to the next level? You know what I mean? Or how do I need to fix this so that I can get to the next port? Or do I need to fix it, or do I need to walk away? Or do I need to just keep going and walk past it? And like, because it's not my problem. It's actually somebody else's problem. But it feels like it's my problem because I care about them. So then I want to make it my problem, but it's not my problem. It's their problem. It's their lesson and it's their life. And sometimes you got to walk away from people in order for you to accomplish what you're meant to accomplish. And then when you get to that end point, you can then go back and help that person because you've already achieved what you needed to achieve. And sometimes that end point brings in enough income where you can help a lot of people. Or that end point is a program that helps a lot of people that'll end up helping that person. But if you stop and help every single person along the way, you're only going to stop yourself and you're going to pull yourself back. Now, I'm not saying not to help people. I'm just saying you have to choose wisely, or through experience after some time, who deserves help and who needs to fix their own problems on their own. And as you start approaching that goal, you get more excited, and then maybe your plan changes, and maybe you look at it and you're like, well, that's not going to work anymore because that didn't happen. This happened. So because this happened, now we need to alter the plan. But now you have a plan. And you're sitting there and you're like, wow. And it's always good on paper because, you can, after you write it on paper, then you can transfer it to computer. You can take a picture. You can do whatever you want. But write it down. Trust me, write it down. Put it on paper. Make it a reality and then transfer it. Don't be lazy and go straight to the computer because it's not going to work. There's something about writing it down that makes it more real or happen. Trust me. Get a notepad. I used to always walk around with a notebook. I stopped years ago. And I'm starting again. Walk around with a notepad, and every time you have a brilliant idea, write it down. Don't put it on your phone, because guess what? With all these apps that you're like approving and you're like, yeah, I agree, they're taking all your ideas. So they have access to your notes, they have access to your phone, they have access to your voice messages, they have access to your voice records, and they can take those ideas as if it's their original idea because you approved it. And people aren't reading the terms of agreement anymore. So don't put anything on your phone. Don't put things on your computer that don't need to be there. put it all on paper. Put it all on paper. Maybe you want to send yourself a quick email or something, kind of like a poor person's copyright, to show that on this date I had this idea. And then you can say, and I'm transferring all my notes onto paper. So at least that way, if you have to go to court, you could say, no, I came up with the original concept on this date. Does that make sense? But don't put everything on your computer, and don't put everything on your phone. Trust me. People can hack into anything. People can take everything. It's not worth it. This is your life, your plan, your ideas, whatever it is you want to do, you know, especially if you're creative. That's your soul that somebody's taking. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. So that's about it. I'm trying to use my phone to make these videos to see if they're better than my computer. Now I'm going to go make a video on my computer.